This is your Estuary Report. If there's an oil spill in San Francisco Bay, there's the chance that harbors that dot the bay could be impacted, and harbor masters have insight into the situation. We talk with Ted Warburton, harbor master in Brisbane, who discussed his experience during the Costco Busan spill in 2007.
The first I heard of it was actually on the radio. I think I was listening to the radio on my day off, and I heard something about an oil spill somewhere near the Bay Bridge. I immediately came to the office and I called the harbor master at South Beach Marina and actually spoke to the assistant, Ed Wesley, and I said, "What's this about an oil spill?" And he said, "Yeah, there's a ship that apparently has reported a couple hundred gallons spilled over the side. We're going to send a boat out to take a look." And I said, "Ed, would you call me back if you hear of anything new?" And he called me back and he said, "They're not letting us near the ship. What we can see is a bit of a spill, but we can't really see what's on the other side. And the Coast Guard is responding and they've cordoned off an area." That was day one. Day two, I got a phone call the next morning and Ed said, "Well, we've got a bigger problem than we thought from yesterday. We've got a lot of oil and we're seeing it here at our harbor. You should be prepared for it." With that, I started making some phone calls to other harbor masters to try to figure out what was going on, how much oil had spilled, what the direction of the drift was going to be, what the wind conditions that day were going to be, and other environmental factors, because I was concerned with Brisbane Marina, and I was also concerned with Brisbane Lagoon, which is an inlet waterway just about a mile from here. Information was very slowly forthcoming, and by the third day, I had contacted our Public Works Director, who is also our Emergency Services Director, and he was in contact with the County Office of Emergency Services. At that point, the reports of the amount of oil suddenly started getting into the thousands and thousands of gallons, which made us very, very concerned. I contacted Robert Johnson, who is the harbor master down at Oyster Point, which is just across the way here, and he was deploying his crew to go out on the boat and actually try to figure out which way the oil was going. So within the first 3 days, information was not forthcoming, and it was contingent upon us to figure out what was going on so we could protect our areas. By about the fifth day, the Office of Emergency Services in San Mateo County was fully up and functioning. We had daily phone calls, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day with them. At that point, we detected that the oil was coming as far south as Hunters Point, and I was concerned for our inland lagoon and the marina as well. And through the Office of Emergency Services, we had asked for deployment of some boom, and I had gone to the lagoon area and kind of sketched out what kind of material I would need, how I would need to anchor it in place during the tidal changes, and how effective it was going to be, and I knew exactly what I needed. For the marina, we have an entrance just to the south here. I've already got hard boom and absorbent boom that we can deploy across it, that the harbor master before me had the wisdom and the forethought to think if ever there was a spill, we needed to cordon off the marina and really isolate it. We had put in the request for the boom material, and I knew exactly how many feet I needed and what kind of materials I needed. And Office of Emergency Services was in communications with Command. They said, "Can you pick it up on a Sunday?" So I asked Public Works to send me a crew on a half-ton truck with 2 crew on Sunday morning. They showed up down here. I contacted Office of Emergency Services and said, "I got a couple of guys. We're ready to go to Treasure Island and pick up whatever you got." They said, "Command is denying your request. They don't think it's far enough south for it to be a concern." And my response was, "Look, I want it standing by in case I got to deploy this stuff in the middle of the night. It shows clearly which direction the tide's going, and if the wind comes up from the north, it's going to move it that much more even further south." And they said, "Sorry, you don't have any." Fortunately, as the days waned, the oil was moving to the north, and we became less concerned about it hitting our area here. However, other harbor masters, such as Emery Cove and Pier 39, didn't get the kind of responses they had hoped, and actually their boats and their marinas got hit with oil.
What's the take-home message for harbor masters? What do you want them to know based upon what you experienced with the Costco Busan?
2 things that come out of this is, number one, you have to have a plan. You've got to have a contingency plan for what's going to happen, and it's probably going to happen. Years ago, I was a paramedic, and one of the things we always did was we trained for the worst and hope for the best. That's why they do things like simulated airplane crashes, so that everybody knows what their role is when an emergency comes along. The second thing that's most important, and I learned from that process, is when you have bad news, when something bad is happening, share it with as many people as possible, because that will generate the most amount of resources as possible. If you keep information back, things simply get worse, they don't get better. We as harbor masters know that we have this network, and that when bad news hits in our neighborhood, we share it with everybody, kind of as a heads up. Even if something happens in the South Bay, we definitely want to make sure that the North Bay harbor masters know about it, and vice versa. And all of our interests are the same. We want to keep the water clean, we want to keep the environment clean. It's in our best interest. All of the wildlife that's generally found in San Francisco Bay are inside marinas, and if you think about it, it makes perfect sense for that to be without having to be a marine biologist. Fish and whatnot find marinas as protective places to breed and to feed. You've got pilings and docks to hide under from diving birds. You've got surfaces for things to grow on.
We're working with harbor masters and the boating community on a number of issues, including clean boating practices. To download a free boating guide, please visit us online. Ted Warburton, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate it.
So we've got some links for you if you want information about this program, if you want to see some of those maps, download those maps, check us out on the web. This is your Estuary Report for the San Francisco Estuary Partnership. I'm Jerry Kay.